24,200 brake horsepower unleashed here in Venice, and up they go to the first buoy. And into an early lead, it's Britain's John Hill. And it's Hill indeed who's heading the field as they come up towards this first buoy. Past goes the Pentax craft, and as they come towards the buoy, it's Hill in the lead. Nicola Mora tucked up in second place at the moment and looking as if he's going well. Hill flashes through. Mora there on the inside overturns as through comes Bertelvik, and Mora, the craft upside down there. No, it's righted itself, but he's out of the craft. Looks as if the boat is undamaged. Looks as if Mora is undamaged there, but I'm almost certain we're going to get a stopped race here. Up goes the hand of Steve Curtin as Hill comes round for the second time. And indeed, it's Hill still in the lead. But no, Mora has been rescued from the sea. He's perfectly unharmed, but the race is stopped and there's got to be a restart. So the Italian Nicola Mora then, the craft being towed in unhurt in an exciting incident, as away go the craft for the restart, obviously without the Italian. With temperatures into the over 100 degrees mark, away they go, and this time Bertelvik is right with the Englishman as they come up to the first buoy. Jonathan Hill still leading down the straight, Vic tucked in behind him there. It's then Jonathan Jones with the Austrian Wilfried Weiland next up there. Through they come, and Vic has already taken the lead. Bertelvik, Jones behind him, still packed in behind there. It's Jonathan Jones and Wilfried Weiland, and away they go down the straight. At the start buoy, there's no doubt at all that Vic is trying to maintain his lead. Try as he might, John Hill, after that magnificent start in the first heat, tries to get up there on the inside with a tight line but can't quite make it. Then it's Jonathan Jones next up there, and Wilfried Weiland showing very well in this heat. Away they go then, towards the far buoy once more. No doubt at all, Bertelvik determined to try and maintain this position throughout, and here he comes, number 3. Vic then this same immaculate line as he accelerates away. Still Hill there in second place, Jones in third place, Weiland in fourth place. And that's Michael Berner there going through. Wilson on the side with him almost hidden in the spray, as still charging on there, doing his level best to stay with the leader, John Hill. Vic, Hill there, 49 years old, chasing the 32 years old Scandinavian, who really is showing that he has got a dominating grip on Formula 2 Grand Prix powerboat racing at the moment, as round the buoy they come. 25 years old John Jones in third place, with Weiland not far behind him and certainly keeping the pressure on. And there's the remaining Italian, Pierluigi Bonvicini, constantly pressing there. He's still well up. And Jones comes to a halt. Has he pulled the cut-off toggle, or has he got a recurrence of the piston problem? No, the craft's okay, but it means that he's dropped his third place. That's Wilfried Weiland now, with the Regal craft up ahead as Bertelvik comes round the buoy once more. Still Hill in second place, but you can see the distance between John Hill there and the leader as they go through. There's the roller trap craft, not going particularly well. Neither for that matter is the lag boat there. Steve Curtin not really having a happy day. Bertelvik, however, is absolutely joyous, holding on to that lead, extending it all the time, proving that he's got tremendous domination and looks as if he's out in this first heat to prove his point. Hill tries hard, a tight line there. The boat staying well down in the water, but a little leap in the air there as through comes number 27. John Jones ahead there, Bonvicini goes through. Jones looks as if he's got his third place back momentarily. Let's see whether he can retain it. And that's the Pentax craft there pulling off. A big problem obviously for Malcolm Berner. He's ended up out of the race as Bertelvik comes through once more. There's Hill in second place. There in third place there is Wilfried Weiland. And in fourth place, we're waiting for Jones to come through as the leader comes past us once more as we draw towards the closing stages, in a tremendous battle going on there. Bonvicini really has pushed extremely hard, got himself up to fifth place now, ahead of Michael Berner. There goes the roller trap craft into the pits, but the leader comes through, and Vic obviously delighted with the way that that first heat has gone. So it's Vic in the lead then. John Hill in second place. Violin in third place. John Jones in fourth place. Bonben fifth place. And Michael Werner in sixth place. The top six then in Heat 1. Bonvencini then coming through on his slowing down lap. The 49 years old Italian. To note is Michael Werner, who has gone very well in that heat and is right on pace, as Vic then hand-waving to this crowd of good old 20-30,000, I would think, easily, and that part of the dock comes in to the finish, feeling, I'm sure, that he's got those points in the bag. Mechanics on the craft once more, and the Swede obviously delighted with the way that things have gone. But it's still engine problems here, and this faulty batch of pistons is causing everyone to minutely examine their engines, and we've got some maintenance going on here. Gunther Schreier in the background as changing his prop there. Steve Kirk goes for a new three-bladed prop, a new four-bladed prop there for Wilson. The Ericsson boat is checked out. That didn't start in the first heat. They hadn't finished those repairs. It still looks a little bit rough and ready. You can see it bears the scars of battle, but it looks as if it'll be in the second heat. And everybody, I think, now hoping that this second heat may bring perhaps a further chance to have a go and see what can be done to relieve the pressure by getting hold of Bertelvik and getting ahead of him, and the man to do it, John Hill, who must be taking life very seriously indeed. There's Ericsson's helmet as he waits to take part in this race. There, number 15, that's the Italian craft once again coming out. Bonvencini hoping, I'm quite sure, that his fellow countryman Nicola Mora will be able to take part. There's Mark Wilson coming up now with the roller truck craft, number 20, as they're off now for the start of Heat 2. Still, the mechanics going out. Hill once again, hoping that he might get the drop at the start this time. He tried very, very hard indeed to do it last time, and obviously all eyes on Ericsson, this new craft, with all the bad luck that he's had, hoping that perhaps he can get away this time, make a good start. Tremendous acceleration on these craft. They're faster, in fact, than a Grand Prix car, up to 100 miles an hour. The maximum speed, about 140 miles an hour. But if you reckon about 2 seconds up to 60 miles an hour, 4 up to 100, and that's the way they go now, away from the start. Up now towards that far boy, and a magnificent start once again. Bertelvik looking as if he's going to be the man to beat. Hill is tucked up there. Hill vying for that position as they come up to the buoy. But on the straightway there's no doubt about it. Vic has the power, he has the ability, the boat has the stability to get through in the lead. He's there in the lead, you can see Hill tucked in behind him there. And it's Bertelvik once more. And some very, very tight racing behind there. We didn't get a chance to see whether Nicola Mora did get his start in this second heat, but I don't think that the boat was damaged. Yes, he is in. And down the straight they go, but Vic once more looking as if he is very determined indeed. John Hill in pursuit, and Ericsson going well, but it's still Jones in third place, but Ericsson not very far behind him. So this new craft of Ericsson's then proving already competitive in spite of all the hard work that's taken place to get that craft back into the race. It looks as if it's remaining competitive. Liquid Mollycraft goes through. Here comes Bertelvik once more. You can see the lead is already pulling out. That's Hill in second place. Jones behind him in third. They've already spaced themselves out in this second heat. And one man who started way, way back is Mark Werner, and he's working his way through as well, trying to get himself up among the leaders. There's Bonvencini, as well placed as we would have expected him to be, right up there. As the Liquid Mollycraft goes through once more, and there's Vic. Vic then in the lead, maintaining that position and looking as if he is going to really be very much the man to beat. Not when it comes to this second heat, but the third heat, because don't forget, if he gets that one as well, he's won this particular round of the Grand Prix series. The German there coming up well, Wilfried Weiland going quite nicely, but not showing quite as well as he did before. Vic still maintaining his lead. Watch that rooster tail spray as he accelerates, and they're getting a little bit closer now Hill has got a bit closer, and that was a very, very dangerous moment there for the leader. He got all the air in the world under that craft, and it looked very unstable for a bit. Bonbencini goes through. He has got Ericsson to contend with at the moment. Here's Hill. Let's watch Hill. Let's see how stable that craft is. See whether he actually virtually takes off. No, that looking actually the steadier of the two craft, but it's all right being steady. You've got to be in the lead. Coming up then, the Pentax craft. That's back in again, not showing as well as we'd hoped. There is Wilfred Weiland going well, and 27 John Jones still holding on to third place behind John Hill there. There's Bernard moving up rapidly. That is in fact Nicola Mora there. It's a different lid on that boat. His top bodywork fell down into the water and they've not got it back as Vic comes up once more. On the inside of him there, Joe Eder, the German, didn't see him, I think, and you can see how close Hill is. Vic there finding himself sandwiched in behind the German as through they come, and it's Vic with tight behind him now. Hill, who's really going extremely well. And there's Ericsson. Ericsson really driving magnificently in this craft, having a very fine run indeed, and looking as if he's going to make a challenge for fourth place. There's no doubt about it. He is really after Jonathan Jones and looking as if he might catch him too. So Jonathan Jones under some pretty heavy pressure from Ericsson with this new craft going very well indeed. A lot of work to repair that craft, and it looks as if it might just about pay off. Mora there on number 65, actually, not his normal number, trying to get the inside of Malcolm Burnap, who's something of a back marker. And the Italian really going well in spite of that spill early on. He's obviously very determined indeed to have a good finish here. And really it does speak volumes for the team who've got that craft back into the race. A remarkable performance on their part. And he must be feeling very happy with the way it's going, because to have pulled it back after that, very difficult to do indeed. John Hill goes through. Hill going well for all that and certainly trying hard. Bertel Vic's wife clicks her stopwatches there. She's keeping an eye on her husband's times. And, oh yes, we've got another problem. This is the German again, Joe Eder. He's almost sinking. It looks as if he'll just get it in. I wonder who he's collided with. It looks as if it might be Ericsson. Ericsson is in trouble. Ericsson indeed pulls very wide there. He's got another hole in that craft. He's going to have to limp on to the finish. What very bad luck after a fine performance by Peter Ericsson at 20 years old. And obviously Joe Eder out of the race. That craft sinking into the sand there as Vic comes through, tucked up behind him and going very hard indeed. With Ericsson back in the race there was John Hill. Here's John Hill again. And in John Hill going through, we now see the leader through once more. Hill has dropped away. There's Steve Curtin, there's Hill, and they're behind John Jones, and John Jones almost loses it there. I think he pulled a toggle. He has virtually stopped, and that's going to cost him his third place. It's going to cost him down to fourth place. It's probably going to cost him fifth as well. I think, in fact, he's going to go down to sixth place there. And indeed he does, because it's Bertel Vic then onto his last lap, with in second place John Hill. In third place, Michael Werner, a magnificent drive up from the back of the pack there. Pierluigi Bonbencini maintaining that fourth position, another fine run from him. Wilfred Weiland in fifth place, and the luckless John Jones after that incident where once again he managed to knock off the toggle at the wrong moment in sixth place, as Vic then comes in at the end of heat two. 2 down and 2 to go. And so the end of this second heat here at Lignano. Joe Eder explaining to the marshals how it came about, and we have a chance to see what came about. And you can see the destruction to the sponson there. I think we'd call it the near side sponson of this very, very badly damaged craft. There is no way that that is going to take any further part in the proceedings today, quite obviously. Joe Eder, a lot of work to do there. There's Bertel Vic setting off, taking the mechanics in. It's now getting on towards lunchtime. The harbour there full of craft, of people who've come to watch, and nearby the beach is full of families coming to celebrate in this strong Italian sunshine. A beautiful day here in Italy. Earlier on in the year, the Italian weather, in fact, was letting a lot of holidaymakers down, but that's not the case now. They had some rain, in fact, early in the season, but now it's the height of the season. And it's a marvellous place, indeed, on these packed beaches to enjoy yourself under the sun umbrellas. They're not to keep the rain off, that's to keep the sun off. It gets so hot down there on the beach, you can burn your feet walking to the sea. You'll see that little boy having difficulty there in our picture as other people get over their difficulties. And we now get 12 craft coming out to line up for the first heat of the afternoon. Heat 3 here at Lignano. There's the craft that's finished in second place, John Hill. He must be hoping for better things this time. He knows he's got to have it done. Ericsson, in record time, has got that craft repaired. He's going to be able to take part in this. So he's obviously going to feel very happy that in spite of 2 incidents, plus that engine, I suppose that makes 3. Well, I reckon that is what he thinks to be his 3 incidents. Away they go. Again, a tremendous start. Bertelvik, most impressive once more. A superb start. He judges it beautifully into the lead. But John Jones this time, also very impressive. Jones ahead of Hill. Jones definitely ahead of Hill as they come to the far buoy here. It's Jones in second place behind Vic. Then it's Hill in third place. And then the repaired Italians and everybody else joining in. Tremendous efforts being made there. There's Steve Curtin going through, and look at that wild weave there. Wilfred Weiland right on the ragged edge there, almost losing the lot. Vic then, very much in charge of the situation, comes up once more. He's putting his stamp on this heat. Is there anything that the opposition can do about them? John Hill still struggling there to get himself onto terms and trying to do something about Jones, who's headed in, there's no doubt about that. Ericsson in fourth place there. There's the Pentax craft. Malcolm Burnham out there again. Let's hope he gets some better luck this time, as Vic now with a huge lead comes through. An enormous lead. And it's Hill now in second place there. In third place it's Jones. In fourth place it's Ericsson. All very close together indeed, and Ericsson hits Jones. That's Ericsson having his 4th incident, and look at the damage this time to that craft. Jones and Ericsson, I would say, sideline there. Ericsson amid a totally destroyed new craft. He really cannot be feeling very happy about that at all. They've naturally stopped the race, and Ericsson now has got to look, I think, at the better side of a new craft yet again. Steve Curtin, thankfully, he's had his problems this year, but he wasn't involved in that one. And you can see now what's left of that brand new craft has sunk into the bay there. An enormous amount of damage this time. We're waiting to hear whether Ericsson is hurt. No, he's not. Ericsson is all right. He has survived that incident. Well, what a day he's had as we come on to the restart now. The restart now. Vic, once again, this man is relentless, isn't he? He is absolutely relentless. It's Hill in second place. It's Michael Berner in third place. And then it's Wilfred Weiland and Mora then fighting it out behind. But there's no doubt about the fact that Hill, try as he might, is going to have a lot of work on here. There was Steve Curtin going through, really not having a very happy time at all today. Bertelvik, however, is absolutely delighted, I'm sure, with his performance. He's got this one at the moment looking good for him, and if he does get this one, of course, he's got it in the bag, and Hill knows this, and Hill fighting back for all he's worth. Equally, Hill knows if he finishes second here, there's no point in him going out again. Mora and Weiland go through, and Steve Curtin being squeezed to the outside. He does not like that, and he's telling Malcolm Burnham so as well. Up comes Vic once more, very much in charge. Really now able to drive at the pace of the opposition. Hill in a safe and certain second place, and going a little bit wide there, looking a bit unsteady third place man there. That's Michael Berner holding on there. Wilfred Weiland now fighting it out with Bombencini for 4th and 5th places as Hill comes through. Hill taking the tighter line. You can see he's right up there. He's running very high in the water, just barely touching there as he accelerated away. And here Weiland there on the inside, and look at again another wild weave there. That's again Nicola Mora. Nicola Mora having a tremendous fight there to stay in control of the craft, and looking as if he's just about managing to do so. So the leader coming down again. Bertelvik going beautifully there. And look at this, look at Byland, that's almost losing it again. That was teetering on the brink of losing the lot there for Wilfred Byland, number 112, as Vic comes back towards us once more. Bertelvik there, coming round that far buoy. He's got a slower craft to deal with on his way down the straight. In the background, without a doubt, John Hill in second place. And in third place now, holding on and right on the limit once more there. 167 Michael Werner, he's trying hard. Byland, look at that craft twitch once again. This is really very spectacular, powerboat racing. And there, the very steady Italian, there's no doubt about it, Bompencini, driving a very sage race there while all others about him are losing their head. He is keeping his. There, Nicola Mora with that repaired craft. He's still wearing 65, staying ahead of Byland at the moment. Spectacular as always from half a lap down. And there, don't fence me in, Wilson on the outside, Curtin on the inside, and through the middle, Bertelvik. And they were trying hard to make life uncomfortable for him there because they didn't actually like the fact that he came between them. It didn't do them any good, however, but he did, in fact, perhaps help just a little bit there. Second man, yes, Hill gained a little bit as a result of that. Yes, Hill a little bit closer to the leader. And there, Byland right up there in the air. Tremendous fight going on between Byland, and it's Vic in the lead then. Hill second, Werner third, and Byland and Mora fighting it out for that fourth and fifth place, and they really are fighting it out there, and really a tremendous effort going on between those two. Through goes Hill. There we've got Byland. There we've got Mora on the outside of him, and you can see how hard the Italian is trying there. And the Italian's done it again, the second time today that Nicola Mora has had a big accident, and he's already out from under the craft. Here comes the rescue crew. They throw in the floating stretcher. In they go, and it looks as if this time he's not been quite so lucky. It looks as if Nicola Mora has suffered some sort of injury in this accident, and quite frankly, the way it happened, I'm not in the least surprised. As an absolutely delighted Bertelvik, he knows that he has won here at Lignano. He doesn't have to go out for the fourth heat. He's got 3 victories. There, the luckless Mora's craft, he's towed away. I don't think, once again, that that is badly damaged, which is more, in fact, I'm afraid that you can say for its driver, who doesn't look too happy there, is receiving treatment as they come in. Obviously, the medical team looking closely, not wanting at this stage to commit themselves, but we shall no doubt find out later exactly what Nicola Mora's problems are. They've taken him away to the medical centre. Huge packed crowd now watching the Formula 3s before we come to the final heat here at Lignano. And the Formula 3s, in fact, going through, and our cameraman finding other little things to distract him during the course of the day, as one would expect. And away they go. The fourth heat, we haven't got Vic, we haven't got, of course, Nicola Mora, we haven't got Hill either, and so this is going to be a wide open race. Michael Werner there, making an effort to get himself into the lead. It's Mark Wilson behind him. And Werner it is. Mark Wilson behind him. Bompencini very close up there in the red boat. You can see Curtin going well there. Curtin going very well as up comes Werner then, obviously very determined to do things right this time. Werner anxious to get himself a win in this championship, and who can blame him? Werner then in this wide open situation. Wilson behind him. Through goes 184 there, that's Gruber. Werner though maintaining his lead as they come up to this far buoy here. Werner really going well and looking determined now to try and dominate this time. He's still got Wilson behind him, I think, but it's some considerable distance behind him. No, it's Bompencini who's come through. Bompencini going extremely well. And there, Gunther Schreier chasing very, very hard on the tail there and trying to gain ground on Byland all the time. And Wilson now being pressured. Wilson getting a lot of pressure at the moment. And Gruber, in fact, the man who's providing it. Wilson being pressured, looking for the outside there. Didn't quite make it, or did he? But a tremendous fight going on, but nobody getting in touch with Berner. Berner going further and further away now. He's got virtually half a lap distance between himself and this very, very good drive by the veteran Italian Pierluigi Bombet, going very nicely there. Gruber squeezing past the luckless Wilson there, who's losing ground all the time. Weiland, again, his spectacular self, but not really making ground as a result of it. He's just trying hard. He's behind there. Steve Curtin not so far back this time either. Curtin having quite a good run. There's Bonvencini in second place. Wilson now outdistanced at the moment by the man who he was fighting with, but I've got a feeling that Gruber might have had some infringement there. Gruber certainly high on the plane there, really trying hard. And a tremendous effort being made now by Weiland, trying to put himself on the inside of Steve Curtin there, and it looks as if he's made it. Or has he? No. Curtin holds him off. Curtin holds him off. Weiland has to give best to the Englishman, who's had his best run so far. So it's Berner first then, Michael. Berner first, Pierluigi Bonvencini second, Mark Wilson third, Steve Curtin in fourth place, Wilfried Weiland in fifth, and Gunther Schreier in sixth. Gruber being penalised and dropping down to seventh place, I'm afraid, as a result of that infringement. I think it was one of those overtaking manoeuvres that the referees, the judges, didn't really like. But one man who liked that race and liked it very much was Michael Berner, who must be feeling very delighted to have at least got himself to the finish in first place once out of 4. The remains of John Jones's new craft. It had only had one race before it came here to Italy. Ericsson, who did the damage, that was the first race for that, but you can see that poor John looks as if he's got a lot of work to do before they can take that craft over to St. Louis. He must be very disappointed indeed. And likewise, Nicola Mora's craft here, and we have a chance now to talk to Nicola Mora about that second absolutely devastating accident. Nicola, what happened out there?
Yeah, the second accident is when Honda. It's just rough water,
yeah.
and
over,
and I turn to right, but it's not sufficient. Leave just here's boat. Long time, 2 seconds. All right, it's normally for when you flip it 2 seconds, it's a long time, and I hope return, but no.
And you have broken 2 bones?
Yeah.
In your shoulder?
Yeah, and dislocated this.
Were you in a lot of pain when you were in the water after the boat had turned over? Were you?
Yeah, and I rest just under in the boat, and no, it's very terrible for
You couldn't get out.
For go up, and I drink sea water. No much.
Nicola Mora then all plastered up and nowhere to go for the time being but to wait until those injuries heal and he could be out again. And now a chance to look at Peter Ericsson's craft and find out what happened from him.
Peter, what happened in this particular accident?
I was trying to pass Jonathan Jones on the inside, and I had very high speed after the corner, and he was very slow out of the corner. And I hit a wave, and my boat jumped 5 meters to the right, and there was Jonathan Jones. And, I'm actually very sorry because it was my fault.
Ericsson's chances here ruined by an engine change, then an accident in practice, then another one early on. I think that's some of the damage from the second accident there. That big accident, of course, with the front and the twisted wheel. And there's the damage at the rear end from his accident with the German earlier on in the second heat. Remember, he didn't start in the first. A very unlucky time then for the 20-year-old Swedish driver.